From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Meteorologist Mike Krueger, and today is the day between 2 and 4 p.m. this afternoon. I will be out at the Dutch Bros on South Market Street along with a special guest. We got a new meteorologist we are training here at Weather NorCal, and they will not be on the channel per se for a while, but you can get a sneak peek as to who they are. Meet them out at the Dutch Bros on South Market Street, just the one across the street from Good News Rescue Mission. We'll be there from 2 to 4 p.m. $1 from every beverage goes to Turtle Bay. There will be animal ambassadors out there, will be out there accepting more donations on top of that dollar from your drink. And so we just want to raise as much money as we can for Turtle Bay because they are a great resource, not only for us here locally, but schools from the Bay Area, as far south as the Bay Area and as far north as, say, Southern Oregon, use the resource because it isn't more inexpensive, that is, here, or less inexpensive option for many schools here. So it's just a great resource. So yeah, we'll see you out there between 2 and 4 p.m. Caffeinate for a Cause for Turtle Bay. All right, let's go and take a look at our weather headlines. Another spike in our temperatures for tomorrow. More of the same today, not much change. We do expect dry conditions, though, at least through the weekend. Although Sunday, that may be a little different for some. Significantly cooler for next week and rain, especially for early next week as well. There's your neighborhood forecast at a glance here for the rest of the day. Today, it's warming up, but mainly in the low 90s. Nothing too terribly unusual for this time of the year. And for the coast, temperatures in the mid-60s. Any clouds we see this morning, those are going to be dissipating here before probably even midday. So we do have some winds a little bit here this afternoon for some of the higher elevations, but you can see here for Friday morning, look at the winds. They're beginning to pick up for the valley and even into the foothills. As we go into midday tomorrow, still pretty strong winds, especially for the west side of the valley, but even some of the foothills seeing some gusty winds, and then even Friday afternoon. They'll start to subside Friday, but Friday's the day we've really got to keep our eyes open because this is going to be the day that we've got hot temperatures, dry conditions, and those winds, gusty north winds. But the wind should subside here for your Saturday. So let's take a look at that fire weather risk. Not so much of a concern today, but tomorrow, already by 8 o'clock in the morning, we're well into the moderate to even barely high range. By late morning, midday, we are in the high category. Now look at the numbers on the screen there. 9 to 10%. Very dry. And keep in mind, it's going to be hot too. Well into the 90s for the valley. Now that will start to subside here as we go into Friday afternoon, and then not as much of a risk on Saturday. So really, Friday is the big day when we're talking fire weather risk. So we just need to use extra precautions. The clouds to our south, those will be moving out here. That made their way here throughout the afternoon. There's midday, and there could even be a chance for a few showers for parts of Plumas and even southern Lassen County. And maybe even an off chance for a thunderstorm, as you can see here, but most of it stays to the south, and it's going to quickly clear out. By 6 o'clock this evening, just a couple of passing high clouds for some of us, and then tomorrow morning, mainly cloud-free. There may be some patchy fog around Humboldt Bay tomorrow morning, but otherwise sunny skies, even for the coast for your Friday. And then Saturday, all right, we'll start to see that marine layer kind of kick back in here for Saturday morning along the coast, and then most likely even through midday. So that marine layer kind of kicking back in, but the weekend is when we start to see some of the changes, transition from the sunny and hot to cooler and wetter forecast in the rain or cooler and weather conditions, that is, in the forecast. We'll get that out. All right, so let's take a look at Futurecast long range. And we're going to start again with today just to show you that low pressure to our south. As it moves to the southeast, the clouds move out, so does the rain. So it's dry, still a spike in our temperatures Friday, but you see this? You see that band of rain off to our west? That's also associated with some cooler weather. So through the weekend, that cooler weather, that cooler air is going to approach. As a result, our temperatures will start to drop as well. But it's not really until Monday that we've got the best chance for rain moving in. So there's Monday, there's a look at Tuesday, another shot at some rain, And then maybe some leftover activity on Wednesday. That band of rain you see to the west there, that may most likely fizzle out before reaching here as high pressure starts to kind of settle back in. So there is relief in sight from the temperatures, and we can clearly see that. So again, that spike in the temperatures on Friday with that ridge of high pressure, weak one, but strong enough to give us temperatures at least mid to upper 90s in the valley on Friday. But then that weakens as that cooler air comes in from the Gulf of Alaska. You see that by Monday, Tuesday, that cooler air is in place, and then it starts to lift a little bit more to the north and east Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Temperatures will start to kind of warm back up again after that. There you can see as we go into that Thursday of next week. You see how the warmer air kind of begins to kind of filter back in. So let's go and take a look at our forecast. And for today, temperatures upper 80s, low 90s. No big changes from yesterday, although where you are going to notice the changes are going to be the Trinity County and inland areas, where we're going to see about a 2 to 5 degree drop from what we saw yesterday. Tonight, another cool night, low 60s for the valley, maybe some 30s for some of the cooler spots in the mountains, but otherwise in the 40s, even some 50s in there, low 50s for the coast. So your 7-day forecast for the valley, a spike in the temperatures on Friday, as I mentioned. Then those temperatures start to drop after Friday. We're down to the 60s and 70s by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, with that chance for rain. We're going to be ironing out the details. I think the main event will be Monday, Tuesday, slimmer chances by Wednesday. And for the coast, same story. Inland, same story, as well as Trinity County as well. Now for Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, for Modoc County and the Eastern Mountains, in particular Lassen and Plumas counties, we may see some activity as early as Sunday. But again, that main event will be Monday, Tuesday, and possibly even into Wednesday. Well, that's your afternoon update. I'll be back again at 6 o'clock this evening for the latest look at your forecast and your deeper dive forecast coming up at 6 o'clock this evening. Have a great rest of your day.
Fire spreads quickly. Don't wait until it's too late. Garmin's Tractor Service specializes in field mowing and light tractor work to help protect your family, your property, and those around you. We're fully insured, locally licensed, and ready to help you create the defensible space you need. Call or text Garmin's Tractor Service today. Protect what matters before fire strikes you.